My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arakir Galadirthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Bree. Now forgive me for moving the microphone there a bit. Now, what many of you will not know, because I didn't mention it because I didn't get the recordings right, I'm recording this video. You're possibly watching this video on Saturday, the 7th of October. But the video that you watched yesterday was uploaded on the 5th of October, which was my birthday. So that has come and gone, because I pre-recorded the Dol Amroth videos, so there was no... I forgot. I didn't realise when it would go up, otherwise I would have just mentioned it. But it's past now, so it matters not. But the moral of the story is that I got a brand new chair in which to sit to do all of this recording-y stuff. And so I'm just working out a few of the kinks, because the chair is very comfortable. But it's ever so slightly taller than my last chair, so I'm just working out how I'm going to get it to work with the desk. So I might be a little further away from the microphone than I previously was. You might hear the keyboard a bit more, I don't know. But I'm going to play around with bits and bobs. I doubt it, because I'm only, I don't know, like 10 centimetres further away. I panic about these things. I'm a worrier. I'm not a worrier, actually, not at all. Anyway, I'm sidetracked. We're playing as Bree. Isengard are going to be defeated, whether we get involved or not. Rohan and Enid Wythe have got them under the cosh. So we are hopefully going to... Our current plan, as you will see up here, we have 3 great armies. One in Royal Tharbad, which is about to be retrained. Then we've got one just outside in the army of Stan. And Captain Fred is going to join with Cliff, and he comes down. Captain Bertie will be the actual units that stay in this location. So we need to retrain this entire army, and then what we are going to do is go and take Isengard, and then head back north and take Carndum, which currently has a Haradrim theme, because the creator must be one of the southern evil nations. So that's our current plan. Let's see how far we can get. Now, in this episode, we should see the choice, because I'm almost certain that it comes at turn 90. And we are about to be at turn 90, which is when I believe the choice kicks in. Oh, wow, this can train loads. End the turn. Doesn't matter what we were doing, just end the turn. I do hope you enjoyed yesterday's Dol Amroth video. I know I've pre-recorded videos because I'm banging on about this in the hope that it reaches as many people as possible. But in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks, in fact, today, I'm going on holiday for a week. I'm going to pre-record for that event. So I'm pre-recording now to get it out of the way. And the Dol Amroth video that went up yesterday was actually recorded well over a week ago. And so I'm just trying to remember what happens, and I can very much remember what happens in the next one. And it's disappointing, to say the least. Which is a bit of a spoiler alert, I apologise. Oh, Khazad-dûm and Angmar have interestingly gone to war. Oh well. That's a strange one. Oh, Moot Lord Tremek. You've been beaten. Isengard won't go down easily. Do keep that in mind. They will go down. See, the retraining worked. This is genuinely a thing, I'm afraid. If you want units to actually be retrained, it must be the last thing you do before you hit end turn. Now, you can change between towns, and you can click on various things like construction tabs and stuff like that. You can look around for info, but you can't queue up any buildings. I don't think you can move any units. I'm not entirely certain on that one, but you certainly can't queue up any other buildings in any other settlement, and you can't queue up any recruitment in any other settlement. So if you want units to retrain, it must be the final thing you do that is town related, or they simply will not retrain. And that's as evidenced by the fact that they have retrained first time, whereas many of you will, of course, have been fighting tooth and nail to get units to retrain. Now, speaking of retraining...
Your will, my lord.
Oh, you're coming with us.
By your orders,
Yes, you are. You're joining Stan's army.
Your orders, my lord.
Orders.
Why don't you just go there? You've got space for 3 more. Where are they coming from? You're going out to them. I'm not going to
By
retrain you.
your command.
You're going to have a leader. That's what your gap's for. Stan, you're in charge there, and you're going to have
Yes, my
siege.
My lord.
Oh, Captain Samwise, you're the one that's coming to join Cliff, aren't you?
We can
Your
That still
orders,
leaves him
my
with
lord.
1 space. Can we train any siege here? 22 units and turns until a catapult. I'd rather have a catapult than ballista. Bree, can you train me anything? 23 turns. Alright, we'll take a baluster then. So we'll get some... So that we can attack straight away, basically. I don't want to have to dilly-dally. Oh, there's a lot of retraining that can happen there.
Yes, my lord.
Councilman Grepp is heading back to lead his army, which is actually in Royal Tharbad, so you might as well stay on this side of the river.
We can go no further, my lord.
Byrig, how are you doing? You got queues for days, that's alright. Right, let's try and burn through these then. So, queue up units that can retrain. You're all retraining. Barrett Vin, you're getting 2 more. Is Cor Willishar getting retrained? No. No. Bree, you getting anything? Arquette, you are, yes, those Dunedain. Yagvex Graves, nothing. And Freka, get rid of those. Put in those 2 instead. And another N10. Oh no. Rohan are going for Isengard. Stay away, you damnable jackanapes. I'd never heard the word jackanape until I played Fallout 4. And it's spoken to you in the Museum of War or Museum of History or whatever it is in Concord at the beginning of the game. The people that speak as you move around the museum say jackanape. I'd not heard the word before. I'll decline that. Agent detected, Misty Mountains, construction. Bree got Traveller's Rest. Get a way station. Oh, 2 turns away. This is where we're going to find out that actually the script has been bugged for me in this game the entire time, and we're only about to find out now that it is bugged. I really hope that's not the case. Strong possibility, unfortunately, that it is.
Your orders, my lord.
Well, we'll see, we'll see. Let's not count our chickens.
We shall continue tomorrow.
Start condemning it before we know. Right, your army is now ready. Jolly good show. Oh, we've got siege equipment for days, actually. I've used that twice now. We don't really need to worry, but... You guys come out.
By your command. Orders.
Stan, you're ready, aren't you,
Yes,
Cliff?
my lord.
Orders. My lord.
Stan, you're getting 1 more unit. What is it? It is the unit that's already in there.
Orders.
Perfect. So you go in.
My lord.
You're going to Cliff.
Your will, my lord.
Oh, and we got those
Your
3.
orders, my lord.
Who do we want to take in place of those?
Yes, my lord.
Well, 2 units of merchant militia aren't as good.
My lord.
You guys head to the
By
fort.
your command. We
And what have
can
you got
go
that we
no
might not want?
further
Another unit of
today.
merchant militia. Yeah.
Orders. As you wish.
All 3 of you to the fort,
Merging
please.
armies,
So,
your will, my lord.
Your orders, my lord.
By your command.
you take a place in there.
Orders.
Yes, my lord.
Cliff, you take them. You've got 1 more
Assembling
space
a
now, Cliff.
mighty host. We can go no
And you don't
further,
have any
lord.
siege equipment. Can you train me another one? Yes, you can.
Your will.
So you go and join Cliff.
Joining force. Making camp here.
Perfect.
Your orders, my
Right,
lord.
so again, let's queue up everyone that we want to retrain. Oh, you can get me a catapult. I'll take that en route, actually. I will take that en route. And... So I don't want that one. No. I think we're all good with the queuing up of things. Where's our diplomat? Do we want anything
Yes,
from
my
you?
lord. Without question.
Oh, that is owned by Rohan.
What is it you wish to discuss? No, we cannot. agree to
Oh,
this.
they want an alliance. And for it, they want map info. Alright, how about map info alliance?
I do not believe I'm able to accept
I
this.
don't really want to ally with you, and with the payment being map info, but I want your map info, really.
An honor and a pleasure. Farewell.
There we are. Oh, and Isengard's going to go down. So I think we might as well just Boyd Isengard off, if you hadn't heard that phrase before, teaching you something new. And we'll just go straight for Angmar and just finish them. How many can we get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is it? Yes. Where else did I see that could be retrained? Grep's Crossing could. All 3 of them. I think that's it. I think we've retrained everywhere now. Arquette got its retrained. Bree's fine. Yeah, so we can end the turn again. Oh, they've got... That's another catapult unit as well, isn't it? I've got too many catapult units. It's madness. A lot of things going on behind the scenes for the modding. I do hope to do a developer's diary, possibly. It definitely won't be this week. I'm going to do the Second Haven episode this week. I'm really looking forward to doing the Heroes campaign. Really looking forward to it. But I might do a developer's diary then next week, which is the last week before I go away on holiday. And as I've already mentioned, I hope to do the follow-up to the lore video about Gondolin when I come back. Argont has built a militia armory and is now getting its last building. And Osnethil has got some crop farming. Chuck another one of them on.
Orders.
Your orders, my lord.
Councilman Grep, you've got 2 units of catapults and a unit of ballista.
Yes, my lord.
Cliff has got 1 ballista and you've got 1 ballista. So there's a catapult coming in, so I will take the catapult. But what to remove instead of it? Those swordmen there.
By your command.
You go over there. So these guys, you join Cliff.
Yes,
So he's
my
got
lord.
2. And the catapult that's going to be trained from here. Is there a better one? Is there a better one? No, there really isn't, is there? Unfortunately. So we will take that one at Yagdak's Grave. Or should we just go with the ballista again? Let's just get 2 ballista, screw it. Well, it doesn't actually matter, no, does it? It doesn't matter at
Your
all.
will, my lord.
You swordman,
My lord. As
just
you
come
wish.
back.
March to
Don't bother
exhaustion,
training that.
Continuing later.
So you're going to retrain. You've got another one to retrain after that. Then Cliff's going to come down. And we come to the 90th turn. Oh, I pray, how I pray that this will work. How I pray. But we've got some good things going on in the modding, as I was getting at before. We've got a good plan for Ered Luin. It is not going to be Ered Luin's side with Sauron. I didn't like that angle of the ideas that were being generated for Ered Luin. The core of the Ered Luin script is basically going to be that you accept his offering of the rings that he had in his possession, and through the corruption of the rings, you turn to greed rather than to evil. That's going to be the core premise of the Ered Luin script.
Your orders, my lord.
Everybody ignore the fact that it's turn 90 and nothing has happened,
Yes,
please.
my lord.
1 unit of militia. We're not all bothered about 1 unit of militia, are
Your
we?
orders, my lord.
No. But so you guys go head out there,
Your command, my lord.
take the catapult.
Yes, my lord.
So Cliff come in there,
Your
and you
orders,
go
my
out there and follow that up.
Orders.
You guys are heading back,
Make camp. Your will, my lord. My lord.
Yes, my lord.
and that is every unit, so you can go with them. Go to our staging
March to
ground 4.
exhaustion,
Now it is turn
continuing
90,
later.
but bear with it, because it's somewhere around turn 90. It might be 92, or it might have totally screwed up and nothing's going to happen. We'll find out. By about turn 100, it's definitely not going to work if it's busted. And if it is, that's going to be an absolute shame. But we're not too far away from having won this campaign anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But it will be bloody annoying, and it will just mean there'll be one minor little bug. And of course, for those of you that don't know, you cannot edit the campaign script file for an ongoing save game. So if it is bugged, I simply cannot solve it for this playthrough, which is a shame. But we'll see. We'll see. Right. Again, we're ready to just retrain. There's some units in the south that are retraining. I'm not really sure what they're retraining about. But... And quite nicely, that secondary army doesn't need very much retraining at all. I have also had a request that Barleyman lead an army, and I am going to take you up on that. And Stan is going to stop off in Bree, and Barleyman is going to lead our glorious forces as we head north to Carndum. So, I've spoken of Ered Luin. The change is going to be more about the rings and bringing greed. We also have plans for Angmar, which have been discussed, but Angmar is not first. Ered Luin's going to be edited first by Racer, after he's just finished ironing out the last little bits and bobs about Cand. And then we'll deal with Ered Luin, then we'll deal with Angmar, and then finally, I think, it depends, it makes no real odds, and then finally we have the Imladris, the plans for Imladris. Once those 3 core areas are done, that's the only real major things we're going to add. So once those 3 core... Yes, thank Christ for that. Christ, who am I talking about? One should put their faith firmly in the God Emperor of mankind, for he is the only salvation that you will ever see. The Council's Choice. Now, I apologise, I am going to read these because they set it up wonderfully. And they're quite lengthy, though. So feel free to just skip ahead. I can make the video a bit longer for the duration. The Council's Choice. My lord, the nature of our talks become known to the Dunedain, and they send a lordly messenger of their own, Pethar. to assist with the process. Now, hold that thought, everyone. What has happened here is that the initial message to tell you that our fate is being decided has not triggered. So, this is why I was thinking it happens at turn 90 or perhaps 88 or somewhere around there. I'll have to look into the script. But you'll get an initial message telling you that the peoples of Bree are discussing the fate of Bree and whether they should stand with the Dunedain against Mordor or whether now is the time to really defend our borders and stay on our own. So you've heard that message. You know that some things are going to happen. What we've actually got here is the actual choice. So as I say, we've missed a message. So we'll just have to have a look for that. It may have come way earlier, way too early or something. I'm not really sure. But we've missed a message. So the message that you're at now is the actual choice. Just to fill you in. So, Pethar to assist with the process. Now, after a full year of discussion, so it should have been 4 turns ago, arguments, bitterness, and no small amount of peacekeeping, it is clear we have a choice of 2 paths to walk. The first is perhaps the more feared, yet most eloquently, yet pleadingly requested by Pethar, and that is to stand with the Dunedain, shoulder to shoulder. He asks that we rise up and declare boldly and unabashedly that we, the Breelanders and simple hobbits of the Shire, will not stand for Sauron's dominion. He asks that we not see the blood of the Dunedain, elves and dwarves be disrespected with our ignorance and willful neglect of our own defence, and that we fight for the freedom of Middle-earth. The council was at first horrified by his scornful words, and the idea of our marching to far corners of the world. But some felt it was our duty to assist those who have defended us, unseen for countless years. Pethar's suggestion was that we directly help fund the Dunedain war effort, and although this will mean a big monetary hit to our own coffers, however, he said that much of that money would combine with our well-developed infrastructure to ensure that our stout fighters would be equipped in the garb of old Arnor. The white tree would stand proud on the chests of every man who fights for our freedom. He also told of how the Dunedain themselves would eagerly fight with us if we came out of what he called hiding, and that together we would be nigh on unstoppable. Furthermore, he spoke of a number of elves of both Imladris and Lindon who would be so moved by our defiance that they too would stand with us against the shadow. Finally, he recounted tales of the majesty of the great roads of Eriador and the mighty bridge at Tharbad, and how we, with Dunedain help, could rewrite those tales with great roads of our own. Pethar spoke of power, freedom, majesty, and hope. But his talk of money didn't sit well with most, and the hobbits especially sneer at him even now for fear that their sons, brothers, and fathers will be sent to war. Not an easy path to walk, but surely it is the morally right one. Do we leave the free peoples to stand alone? Should their blood be spilled whilst we grow fat and lazy? Are we truly ready to spill our own blood, though? How will the council face the wives and mothers of those sent outside Eriador? How will we face the wives and mothers of those sent that do not return? The second path was greatly lauded by many as the perfect solution. We simply pay others to do what we should not have to do. These words were spoken by Dringle, a most stout and block-headed, stubborn, rude, cowardly, miserly, old and bothersome hobbit. He was the most outspoken opponent of Pethar, and he proposed a simple solution. He cried that we should look to our own borders. Our builders should not be out restoring weed-infested old roads, but instead should be building better fortifications for our people here. He felt that strong walls and not strong arms would be needed to stop the tide of darkness. He argued for the importance of maintaining our thriving economy, and to do this on our own, not by letting every Tom, Dick or Harry who happens upon the Breeland to waltz in. His plans had the support of many of the councilmen, for the promise of wealth was very real, and where Pethar speaks of an overall decline in our wealth, Dringle proclaims that it can be made tenfold what it already is. Finally, the isolationists would have us buy our protection from cutthroats and bandits, rather than risk our own sons on the field. They talk of how many travellers pass through the Breeland asking for work, and that we should put them to use defending our interests. Under Dringle's plan, mercenaries from the farthest reaches of Middle-earth would come to fight under our banner, and our people will be safe. He even talks of dwarven warriors from both Ered Luin and Khazad-dûm who have expressed an interest in fighting for us if the price is right. This path seems cowardly to me, but the promise of safety, wealth, grand cities, and others to do our dying seems almost too good to be true, does it not? After all this time, a decision has to be made. The council is split, and only the word of our master will set us on the path. So do we side with Pethar and the Dunedain, or we side with Dringle and the mercenaries? Click on the tick to side with the Dunedain and the elves, or click on the cross to side with the mercenaries and the dwarves. We stand with the Dunedain. A glorious day, my lord. Pethai has already returned to his master with this excellent news, and only a few days after he left, scores of Dunedain appeared on our borders, with songs on their lips, weapons in their hands, and a power in their hearts, unseen for countless decades. Our nation will surely grow strong under this union, and may all those who stand in defiance of the shadow take note. We will not let the shadow grow further. Eriador has risen anew. Ever onward we march, as powerful as Arnor of old, side by side with our brothers, the Dunedain. Tol Acharn! Tol Acharn! Tol Acharn. Northern Dunedain relations increase to perfect.
Orders.
So it worked. Thank Christ for that. Oh, I already just said we're not thanking Christ, are we? We're thanking our great Lord and Saviour, the God Emperor of mankind.
Yes, my lord.
Because if you have to believe in one of these religions, you might as well
Yes,
believe
my
in one
lord.
that's actually entertaining. Agent found, Austin Ethel, Misty Mountains. I must disparage so much of my viewership by glibly casting religion aside. But then, I don't know, everyone's entitled to their views. Righty-ho, so, as you can see, nothing happens at the moment, but give it a few more turns and things will start to happen. It takes a turn for any changes to the EDB, which is the file that governs all of this, to actually take effect. So, we have to end the turn again. As I say, I'll make the episode ever so slightly longer, so those of you that didn't want to hear me just speaking for what was probably about 6 minutes, you can get this enjoyment still without having to watch that bit. I wanted to speak it because loads of time goes into writing those messages, and whilst you can all read them obviously yourselves, a lot of people probably wouldn't. And I think it's doing a disservice to those who have written all of these great things to just cast them aside and say, oh, you can read that in your own time. I think it's better to say them out. And so I have done. It's taken a little longer, as it's just calculating everything that we're going to get. Another Nazgul has returned to Dol Guldur. Aldaron of Linden. Sorry, I've said that totally wrong. Aldaron of Linden. My lord, I bring excellent news. Círdan of Linden has sent one of his finest generals to support the other elves who have pledged to fight with us. I know little of Aldaron, but the messengers all sing of his prowess in battle. He has come over the Tower Hills and is within a week's march of Mitchell Delving. Just as the Haven of Umbar attack. And there he is, Aldaron of Linden.
My lord.
Oh, I haven't got the unit cards in the Bree side. He has Phallus Lords, as you might imagine. And Mitchell Delving gets a spattering of elven troops from the office of the Mayor of Michael Delving. Norreturno warriors and Norreturno cavalry from Imladris, and Sindar archers and Sindar guard from Linden. However, you don't get them on turn 1. That's something that I think may have already been changed. If not, it will be changed, because that's ridiculous. 50 more turns before you can even recruit them. They might as well not even come. So that's a little note for myself. So as you can see, Mitchell Delving, and I know many of you are going to be very off-put, but I should at least try and say them as they are said. And this is supposed to be pronounced like Mitchell, not Michael. So I'm just going to use that. But the elves train from here. That is where you get your elven support from Mitchell Delving. Now, you should also find that the Dunedain camp... you're not a big enough town. It needs to be a bigger town. Who's got a Dunedain camp that's a bigger town? You! There we are. Royal Tharbad. Now, in Royal Tharbad, we have built a Master Mason's Hall. Now, because we've built the Master Mason's Hall, we are then allowed to build not only great roads, but the Bridge of Tharbad. I didn't say this one, and I've seen quite a few people ask it. But yes, if you play as Bree and you side with the Dunedain, you can rebuild the Bridge of Tharbad. And yes, you get the Tharbad Royal Guard to line your armies. It's awesome. Not only that, but the blacksmith, which where before only actually gave chainmail, you will note this is how it shows it. You don't actually unlock another blacksmith building, but the highest tier blacksmith unlocks the next tier of smithing. So rather than forcing you to build another building, the Dunedain essentially just teach your best blacksmiths what to do. So you know you can also now upgrade to partial plate. Which does just mean that our army is now we're going to have another whole set of retraining when we arrive in Bree, and everybody gets retrained here, which also has a blacksmith. But the last thing that I have not spoken of there is you will also note that finally the Dunedain outpost. So the Dunedain camp, which gives you the rangers and the wardens, can be upgraded to the outpost, the actual building, rather than just a camp. You can see that your number of free upkeep and your recruitment slots go up if you haven't got that recruitment slots already. And you get rangers and wardens as normal, but you also now get captains and blade masters. So you only get a spattering of Dunedain forces. It's nothing over the top. It's not severe. But you do get that boost. But they can only be built and trained in places where they previously could be built and trained. So that hasn't changed. So you're not going to get Dunedain if you leave Eriador, basically. They follow the same restrictions they had before, which I like. This is all very good. Also, Rohan did not claim Isengard.
Yes.
So what I think I will do is Councilman Grep the Honourable, you're going to go back to Royal Tharbad. You're going to retrain your entire army so that we get to see the cool look, and you're going to go and take Isengard on your own. You two are going to head north to Bree, where you will then retrain.
Yes, my lord.
And then you guys are going to head north to Angmar, so that we get a bit more action. Now, Alderon of Linden, you are going to come and lead one of our armies. Hell to the yes. Now, unfortunately, as I say, I will change this because this is just ridiculous. So the elven forces that you can get, it is one unit of each every 50 turns. So people were very worried when I suggested adding the elves to the path because they thought, oh, this is overkill, now you're adding elves as well. But I think, as you can see, the fact that you can only get 4 battalions in 50 turns when you're already at turn 92 means you're really not going to get that many of them. And they just give you that nice, it's a touch rather than rather than like an abuse, if you will. So it's a minor nod to the elves rather than a full-blown OP addition. Oh, we can't get them all. Alright, we'll start retraining then where we can. Barleymen can retrain because Barleymen, your generals, also get the look of the Dunedain. It's really cool. It is really cool. So when we get to Isengard, which will be on the next turn, the next episode, you'll get to see what the actual benefits of this are, i.e. that you get these great new looks for most of your units. Just making sure we've got everywhere retrained. Yes, we have. Give it another end turn. Well, we've got I'll go for another about 10 minutes on this one so far, so we'll see what we can do in 10. Hopefully we can at least get the Isengard army retrained and on its way to Isengard, the Angmar armies into Bree, and start retraining them as well. And then that would give Alderon enough time to get over from the west. Now, notes I'm going to have to make for myself. Do apologise if you hear the scraping and the tapping, but I'm going to make a note to myself on this envelope. Bree elves and Bree first message. Now, you do get a message when you play as Bree at about turn 2 that does warn you that a change is on the horizon. But of course it's 90 odd turns before that change comes. But I did think it was somewhere before turn 90. And obviously I was right, it just didn't trigger. So, oh, I've clicked that twice. Richard Irving has built stables. Doesn't know that much. Argon got a Traveller's Complex, and you can get great roads. Excellent. Barrow-downs built its armory. You can get great roads. Units that can retrain that I didn't see. Build an armory. And Byrig, get a blacksmith. Oh, you might as well build everything. What the hey? In fact, quite a few of you might be able to retrain. Yeah, and I haven't factored that in. Get the roads where we can, please, because the roads are very cool. Right, keep all the armies moving. Let's get this underway.
As you wish.
Cliff is slightly slower than Stan. Don't really know why, because they have pretty much the same army composition.
Your orders, my lord.
So, Cliff, we're not going to need you either. Alderon will take control of one army, and Barleyman will take control of the other. So, all of you bar Barleyman go into the fort again. Oh, the fort's full. Well, I will be taking out of the fort the 152 Dunedain. And I think that's it, really. But I will take 101 Dunedain from there. You're going to be Barleyman's army, so you need to lose 2 units. Oh, no brainer. You two. There's a fort that waits for you. You guys can just wait outside then if you're the garrison anyway.
Your orders, my
And
lord.
Alderon will come and wait, where
Yes,
Cliff will
my
join up
lord.
with him. Alright, let's go through and tally up the retraining again. It's all okay there, it's all okay there. Osnathil, you can retrain. Yagthak, nothing. Byrig, nothing. Frekka's Legacy, you're still going with your 2 at a time. And Barrow-downs, you can do those 2. And another end turn. Obviously, the Bree choice does come quite late in the game, 90 odd turns. Many campaigns for most people are probably either abandoned, won, or defeated within 150 turns, I would suggest. Divide and Conquer is quicker than the base game. There's no real way around it. We are doing things to slow that down. Obviously, the buildings being slightly more expensive, taking slightly longer to build, will have an impact. But it's never going to be that long. It's never going to be that slow a campaign, I'm afraid. Anon and a Rod. They want us to annex it. Why do they want it annexed? What have we got left to retrain here? Now, what I am thinking is we can train another unit of gatekeepers. So we probably should. We don't need that unit. So we'll train some gatekeepers and... oh, look, you're moving off over there. I didn't realise you were still
My
cute.
lord.
Righty-go, righty-ho, here we go. So all of you except for Stan head into
By
Bree.
your command. Orders.
Stan,
Yes, my lord.
I'll tell you what, let's put people in all our forts.
As you
So
wish.
you go into that
Your
fort,
will, my lord.
you and we can take more than one. Take more than one.
My lord. Yes.
You guys are going into that fort.
Your will, my lord.
Hobbits.
My lord.
Is there a fort? Ixan.
By your
Yeah.
command. March to exhaustion, continuing later.
You and you go to that
As
fort.
you wish. We can go no further today.
You 3 go to that fort because you're closest to Angmar.
March to exhaustion, continuing
Greenlanders
later.
there. You
Your
3
will,
guys
my
go to
lord.
that
As you
fort.
wish. We can go no further today.
3 more
My lord.
go to that
By
fort.
your command, my lord.
Stan, you head to that fort as
By
well.
your command.
Your
And
orders,
Cliff,
my lord.
you're going to actually be the governor of Bree.
Yes.
So we'll put you on that side of the border for now,
Yes,
because
my
otherwise they
lord.
might hate you.
Assembling a mighty host.
Your
Alderon
orders,
just knock
my
around
lord.
there. Well, Alderon's not going to retrain
Splitting
at all,
our
I don't think.
forces.
Yes, my lord.
My lord. As you
Your orders, my
I
lord.
don't think Alderon will train. No, he won't. So you go
Yes,
north
my
of the
lord.
city.
Your
You
will,
guys come
my
back
lord.
in. All right, let's...
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Oh, we are making money, but not very much. You can only do 4 at a time. Oh, Bree. And you're as upgraded as you can be. Oh, Bree. You're useless to me. They can't be retrained. Councilman Grep cannot be updated, but Barleyman could. It's interesting. We are, again, another intern. So we will. Our armies, by the end of this episode, 2 episodes of preparation, unfortunately, but by the end of this one, we will, of course, have our armies ready to go. Certainly 1 army in the north and the Isengard army. Or what I might do is just elongate this episode out to the point that our armies are all ready to go, just to get it out of the way, really, because it'll probably be another 10 minutes or so before the armies are ready. So if you don't want to hear my ramblings as we just retrain our armies, then feel free to end today, and I will see you in whatever video you come back to in the future. But I really like this... Oh, Northern Dundan doing well. I like the difference between our 2 campaigns now. Quite a stark change between the Dol Amroth campaign, where we're very aggressive, attacking everyone, making odd alliances. We're currently attacking, obviously, Gondor. And then this campaign, where it's a bit more gentle, more relaxed. And I like that.
Your orders, my lord.
Righty-ho, you're joining them.
honor.
Yes, my lord. Your orders, my lord. Yes, my
So
lord.
you there, you go to that fort.
Yes, my lord.
I'll let all those move on their own. We'll just go straight to the retraining again. 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. Royal Tharbad can't train any now, actually. Now, of course, we did just lose a great deal of money because these buildings cost 12,000 between them, a little over. So a lot of money was lost because of that. And we have got the army in Frekka's Legacy that we don't really need. It's just kind of knocking around. And that's about to get a Master Mason's Hall as well, actually. Have you already got the highest tier blacksmith? Yes, you have. So if we got the buildings that we could get, you could retrain quite a lot of this. Ah, no, because you can't build a Woodman's Guild here. A Hunter's Guild, whatever it's called. So all of those hunting units are never going to be retrained here.
Your will, my lord.
So let's get them out. Equally, the Dunedain are never going to retrain here, so let's get them out. Neither are the dwarves.
Aye, sire.
Or the
Your
hobbits.
will, my lord.
Or I even think the Greenway Men-at-Arms. Well, we'll keep the Greenway because they're not as great. So everything else should be able to retrain there. But the rest of you, head north, take up position in our favourite fort.
March to exhaustion, as you wish.
Send more of these guys
My
out.
lord. Yes. Entering woods and preparing. By your command. We'll make
Those Dunedain can retrain.
We can
You guys go
no
to
further,
Arquette.
as you wish.
Right, end the turn. Everybody's moving off into their forts. Getting free upkeep on all of those. This is all good. The Northern Dunedain continuously sending a diplomat to Bree. Now, the thing I don't get about that is I'm fairly certain about two things about bribery. Obviously, bribery has been removed, so none of it really matters. He's just going to keep doing this animation ad infinitum. But you can't bribe a faction leader. It's impossible. That's the one unit you cannot bribe. I'm fairly certain you also cannot bribe a faction capital. I don't think those two things can be bribed. Now, I may be wrong, and do correct me if I am, but I'm fairly certain you can't. Because I know also that you can't offer to gift your capital in the diplomacy screen. It just doesn't let you do it. So, I'm just interested to see why he's so hell-bent on getting Bree. I'm just not... I'm lost on that one.
Orders,
You guys go to that one.
my lord.
Your orders, my lord.
Cliff's taken out... Oh, Cliff, you've got a terrible army. Stan's got a much better army.
Your will, my lord. Orders.
Get you guys off of the road so the Dunedain don't hate us. Right, our army is ready. You need to be retrained. You've literally just been purchased. No, I'm not even going to bother. You'll have the armor upgrade because they train with the armor upgrade.
With my lord.
No, get you out. Get you out. Let's go for
Yes,
it, Grep.
my
You've
lord.
got 2 catapults. You've got the army.
We can go no
You walk
further,
really
lord.
slowly.
Your will, my lord.
Oh, I'll tell you
Your
what I can do,
orders, my
actually,
lord.
which is a no-brainer.
My lord. As you wish.
There's a unit of full Dunedain over here.
Yes. March
Take
to
those as you pass.
exhaustion, continuing later.
Right, how are we in Bree? Oh, of course, we're only going 4 at a time, aren't we? So we're going to take for bloody ever. That's right, that's all we're doing now for the end of this. That's all we're doing for the end of this. I'm very excited to continue with the Haven campaign for Heroes of Might and Magic because I really enjoyed it and I'm really looking forward to that. I downloaded a couple of mods that unlock all of the campaigns just so that if it bugs out, I've resolved that already because someone did suggest that using the mod that I'm using, the campaigns don't unlock properly. So I downloaded a simple mod that just unlocks every campaign and every level of every campaign. So that solved that problem. I'm also really struggling to fully get into Divinity Original Sin. Number 2. Now what we should do here to maximize use of the 2 that we want
Yes,
from this,
my
if
lord.
you've got 2 that are already trained, what are we retraining? 1 axe and 1 sword. Have you got anything like
orders,
that?
my
It's
lord.
already good to go. No, only your archers are retrained. Well, it's those guys there and there, I think. No, because it's armor upgrades, isn't it? It's you and you there and there. It's armor upgrades that
Yes,
we're
my
upgrading,
lord.
so it would be of no use. Ah, hold on. Siege, yes.
Your orders, my lord.
So all of you
We're leaving
go to
the
there,
army.
except for the siege. No, I've done that totally wrong, haven't I? Because I'm moving the army out.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, that made no sense.
Assembling
We'll just
a
take them without the
mighty
armor
host.
upgrades. Let's get the first
Yes.
army out.
Your orders, my lord.
That's as much as we're going to get.
Orders,
You guys are the actual troops of Bree. Oh, the Dunedain did train.
my lord.
Well, 1 unit of you then again. Let's leave behind hunters. You're a worse
Your
version
will,
of
my
Dunedain.
lord. As you wish. Joining forces, my lord.
Need to make sure that we re-queue what we were retraining. So you guys can retrain, please. Right.
My lord. All By your
Yes, my lord.
As soon as I join with
We're
you, down
combining
you go.
forces. Your will, my lord.
You
Merging
pick up
armies,
those.
my
You're
lord.
heading to that
As
fort
you
now.
wish. Will, my lord.
Where you guys can sit for the time being. Let's get our money back. Just train for random. Barleyman is on his way. Oh, good God, Barry Donionaki's got a lot. But we've got to beat the dwarves. Can't do them. Oh, but we don't want to go. Well, we won't be able to do it with one army
We shall
alone. We need
continue
both.
tomorrow.
So just head out and get some
can go no
intelligence.
further,
No,
my lord.
what's the point? Just
Making
wait.
camp
Just
here.
wait.
Making camp here.
I will just do this episode until our
Yes,
army
my
is
lord.
ready. So we've got 3 more turns until our army is ready. 3 more turns. Now, normally there's always some sort of action that you're looking towards. In these 2 episodes alone, we've done almost 20 turns, whereas some episodes are a single turn in length. Some aren't even a turn in length. But back to the point that I was about to begin on, I'm struggling to get into Divinity 2 because I'm used to RPGs where your hand is held. Now, I'm not suggesting at all that RPGs should be dumbed down to support that trend. It's a bad trend. But it doesn't change the fact that coming to a game where they don't hold your hand at all, it's a bit jarring. So it's taking me a bit of time just to get into it, to understand that every quest, for example, you are expected to work out what to do
We shall
next
continue tomorrow.
on your own. Nobody is going to help you with that. You're expected to just kind of work out how all the combat and everything works. No one is
We
going
can
to
go
help
no
you with that.
further today.
And it is just a little bit like, oh, gosh. Like, oh, that is... takes some getting used
As
to.
you wish.
Right, retrain you lot. Tick that off. And I have 2 more down here that are retraining. I don't think they're being... No, they're not being recruited. They're just being retrained.
Yes,
Grep
my lord.
is now 5
go
so
no
turns
further,
away
my
from
lord.
Isengard. Rohan are knocking around. But we want to be the ones to get there. We want to be the ones to get there first. Now, I mentioned, of course, that I recorded this video you're watching right now on the 6th of October. So yesterday for me was my birthday, Thursday the 5th of October. I am 26 years of age now. I have been out of the 18 to 24 age bracket for 2 years. And time is just absolutely slipping away. Going past so damn quickly. But there we are. There we are. Get close. Khan's demise. Interesting. Khan has been... Oh, and a Lord's Hall in Yagdak's great. Oh, and you can build me a road. Oh, we're making money again. That road would have come in way
Lord,
handy
my
when we
lord.
were making our way to Isengard. Because now Rohan is starting to get a
We
bloody
shall
taste for
continue
it.
Tomorrow.
How far can you all move without the siege?
Yes, my
Might
lord.
save a turn in the grand scheme of things, but it's not all that much. Oh, I'll tell you what we should do, actually. Stan and or Cliff, well, take
Orders.
Stan. You come and be the governor of that. That's more important than sitting in a fort up there on your own. Look how far he can go. Well, normally further, but he's just idiotically walked straight into Amun-Sul and just stuck there now, like a moron.
Your orders, my lord.
1 turn remains. No, it is. We might as well. We've come this far, so just see it through. Retraining, just retraining. This is always the problem when a great thing happens. You've got to then prepare all of your forces. It's like if you get the highest tier of a guild. Like it's happened in this series twice now. We got a better tier of the guild, which increased all of our archers worldwide. So you have to go around the whole world retraining all of your archers. And now with this boost to all of our armor upgrade, now everyone's getting this boosted armor. So we got to retrain all of our armies. And it just so happens that with Bree, I had so much money that my armies were built at exactly the same time. So, the Royal Bridge of Tharbad has been rebuilt. An increase in tradable goods. A building income is now 55. A public order bonus is at 25%. And you get 2 units of Tharbad Royal Guard. Although we don't have enough money to recruit them. But that's pretty cool. We are making money. We're just not making money in droves anymore.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
We are not very far away from Isengard now.
camp
3
here.
turns. Only 3 turns. Did you stall or are you actually
My
going to
lord.
keep going? We can help you on your way.
By your command.
Isengard
to
are so
ambush the
powerful that Enidwaith still have not got them down. Right, that'll do, because let's get this under bloody way.
With honor.
Right, you two are going to
Go
stick
no
together all
further,
the
my
way.
lord.
So you lot can come back, save for them.
Yes.
You can even retrain them. Oh, man. Although I'd probably want Bree to have something slightly better. How much free upkeep do you actually get here? 1 unit from that. 4 from there altogether then, I think. 1 from the Smiths, 1 from that. Nothing from that. Nothing from that. So it is only 4. Yes. We still have Fort Town guardhouses. So with those 4, I'd like some gatekeepers. Watchmen, axemen, and Greenway sentries. No, chuck in the normal archers. So you 4 guys, is there another fort that we can chuck you in? Do we have more forts knocking around? Yes, we do. That one is owned by rebels. Down you go. Claim that for the Bree. For the Bree? That's not who we are. Right, we'll go one final turn then, and this will be the last turn. So I apologise wholeheartedly that this episode has been nothing more than me drivelling about nonsense. Retraining units and ending turn. That is all it has been. I will reward the dedication of those of you who have stayed as we go past turn 100. Excuse me, sorry. We will look at the world. Let's toggle Fog of War and see what we're up against. Cheating, to some degree. Because we will look at Angmar. We'll assess the terrain. And we'll act on the knowledge that we're about to gain. Ered Luin prosper. They better not get to...
Your will, my lord.
Better not get to where we want to be before us, though, you buggers.
Your order.
Alright, we're beelining for it. Away
Yes,
we go.
my
Ah, yes, you're walking
With
one next to
honour.
each other. Brilliant. Oh, and Rohan are attacking there
Your
again.
orders, my lord.
But I don't think that army
Yes.
will win. They get a substantial garrison in Isengard.
My
So
lord. Yes, my lord.
Grep's very nice army moving through. Right, that's everything that we wanted to do.
Order.
I'll keep moving you guys, I suppose.
We can go no further
Getting
today.
that free upkeep. So let's have a look at the world. Khand is dying. Ered Luin is prospering. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ered Luin are next to Khandum. No wonder there's so many troops around Barrow-downs. It's all they've got left. We can walk all the way to Khandum without going into Angmar's lands. Nochvarachlor is still a village. Shadoon is now a large city. An Angmarim large city. I made that change. I like that. Litash is a dwarven fortress. Stronghold, sorry. Dale have got Gundabad. Now remember, in future versions, this little joining here between Witherboard and Dale does not exist. Erebor now just goes, the border of Erebor goes up to about here, so all of this is Erebor. So Dale don't go north anymore. The Vale of Anduin are doing alright. Dorwinian, my goodness gracious. When were Rune defeated? I don't remember that event. Dorwinian, powerhouses, and my Christ, look at Dol Amroth. Right down to the Harnan they've got. Not taking any prisoners. And of course, because this is an older version, Umbar not getting involved at all. So the South have lost. The forces of good have won. And Isengard have only got Heorot and Isengard. Oh dear. Well, we need Khandum, and then we just need to backstab someone, unfortunately. No, the Misty Mountains are holding out alright. The invasion against Khazad-dûm has been going on forever, which is a shame. It'd be great if Dorwinian broke an alliance, went to war with Erebor, wouldn't it? I can't believe... I don't remember when Rune went down. I just don't remember it. Khand, are you at war with Mordor? Yes, you are. That's why you're being defeated, you idiots. Mordor's taking you out. So there we have it. There's the world. No wonder we can just sit and do nothing. There's no real enemies left. Isengard, Dunland. Misty Mountains are the only true enemy left. Because they don't have enough enemies themselves. Anywho, that will end today's episode, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope the mouse keyboard or mouse hasn't come through. There's no real difference in my position to the microphone, really. I'm just slightly further away than I was before, that's all. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navarre den Peremad Melonin, and farewell.